Money Moves with Myth 2.0, the podcast. And always remember, gentlemen, it's a motherfucking movie. So today, we're going to jog a lot of people's minds in America, and we're going to be talking about how most Americans will not be able to afford a home in a good neighborhood. So, before we get into the video, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel, and let's hop straight into the video. Have you guys ever just sat back and actually focus on buying a home? And if you have, most of the people who have naturally focused on buying a home, they didn't naturally focus on buying a home with their hard-earned cash. They focus on using credit, getting a mortgage loan so they can buy their dream house. But what if I told you that when you get a lease on a car, plus a mortgage, then you sign yourself up for slavery, modern day slavery? Did you know that most mortgage loans last for a period of 20 plus years? So that means if you don't have an income coming in for this home and this car, then you absolutely have to go to work so you will have the money so you won't get behind on your bills. Because once you take out a mortgage loan, once you get behind on your bills, a lot of times the bank or who gave you the mortgage loan, they're going to take their property because you're not the owner of the property. You're paying it to be the owner of the property. The bank is still the owner of the property. So a lot of people end up having a home and they work for 5 years, and then they go default because they can't afford to pay the bill anymore. So now all of that equity that they paid into this home is no longer there, because the bank is going to repossess that home or your car, So this is the main reason why I advise people to not get a mortgage loan, especially a mortgage loan. A lease on a car, you might get a 5. You can pay it off within 3 to 5 years, depending on how much it is and how much your monthly payment is. That's more doable than 20 years. So what I notice is that most homes in America, if you want to stay in a good neighborhood, if you're down south like I'm from, if you're from down south, most houses in a good neighborhood are going to start around $200,000. Now, if you're staying in a place like California or New York, then your home is going to start at probably $1 million, 1.5, 2 million bucks, to get into a good neighborhood. So first and foremost, have anybody sat back and thought, how will you ever be able to stay in your dream home? How would you ever be able to live the so-called American dream when living the American dream, it's like they priced everybody out where you can't get in? For most of us Southerners, can you guys think about how much money $200,000 is? And for all you people who stay in expensive cities like Cali and New York, have you guys ever thought how much $1 million is, and are you making enough money to achieve buying a home? Now, don't think that these are big houses, guys. The bigger the house, the more money. So if you want a 4 or 5 bedroom in California, in a good neighborhood, you're probably gonna pay $2.5, $3 million bucks. And the houses in the hood in California are highly expensive. $700K, $800K, low millions. $1.1 million and stuff like that. So have anybody ever stopped to ask, how will the new generation of people, and even people who haven't, there's millions of people who never and will never be homeowners, because most people can't figure out how to make $200,000. So if you guys think about it, let's put this into simple math. So most people make around $10 an hour, meaning that that's the minimum wage. I remember when minimum wage was $7.25. And the sad part about it is that $10 an hour adds up to about 30, maybe like not even 30K. Like I say, 25, close to 30. If you're doing overtime all the time, you're working your butt off. So that means that you will have to work, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 7 years to be made over $200,000 if you're making the bare minimum. So, and the thing about it is, most people are not saving all the money that they're making from their job. So if you make $30K a year, 9 times, most people who make $30K a year don't have any savings. It's only up until when people make $100,000 a year, where people might have, they save $15,000, $25,000 or something like that. But when you're making the bare minimum, how will you ever be able to afford to live in a good neighborhood? They're pricing everybody out. If you don't have a certain amount of skills to get a job that's paying $120K a year, meaning $120K a year is $10,000 a month. Okay. So how will you be able to afford this? How will you be able to afford to be in a home when the banks are urging you to get credit cards? The banks are urging you to go lease a new car, go get a loan, to go get a mortgage. And what's really happening is that they're signing you up for slavery. Meaning that when you're tired, when you're sick, if you break a leg and you can't pay your mortgage, then they're going to snatch everything back. They done made everything unattainable. But let me know what you guys think on the topic today. Let me know if I'm cooking or not. And I'm going to holler at you guys on the next video. Over and out.